I don't know if y'all remember this, but last week I made a comment saying if Donald Trump has his physical on Tuesday, which he did, and if he leaves that physical and gets on social media and starts bragging about taking yet another cognitive exam, we can pretty much take that as definitive proof that doctors believe he has dementia. And wouldn't you know it, it took several days, but Trump came out over the weekend bragging about taking his third cognitive test in a year, his fourth in total, but 3 of them in a year's span. Trump said on Truth Social, "Unlike other U.S. presidents, none of whom have ever taken an approved high-difficulty cognitive test, I scored a perfect 30 out of 30, considered extreme intelligence. Are the Democrats really surprised? In fact, this is my 4th such test, all perfect. 120 correct answers out of 120 questions asked. It is very rare that anyone gets a perfect score, especially when achieved 4 times in a row. All people running for president and vice president should be forced to take high-difficulty cognitive tests. Congress and the Democrats should demand it." It's not difficult. In fact, doctors were all over the media this weekend to talk about what really is wrong with you. And they all admitted, like, this test is not designed to trick you. Okay? We're not assessing what you know. We're assessing, really, is your brain still functioning? And by the way, when you take that exam, the doctor doesn't sit there and say right or wrong. In fact, they don't say anything. So you don't know if you got it right or wrong. They take the results and they do their assessment, much like a teacher, right? You take your test, you turn it into the teacher. They don't sit there and grade it right then and tell you what's right and what's wrong. You wait for the results, buddy. And typically, especially in people with dementia, they're not talking to the people with the dementia. They're talking to the caregiver instead, going over the results with them. Now, depending on how far along the individual with dementia is, and again, I say this coming from experience here, they will tell the patient, to a degree. But most of the information goes to the full-time caregiver. In the case of my grandmother, that is my own mother, is her full-time caregiver. So I know all this because my family has lived through it for many years now. So Trump's bragging about getting a perfect score when I guarantee you he doesn't even know that he got anything right or wrong. And again, it's not necessarily just coming from me and the experience that my family has gone through. That's also coming from the doctors who spoke out over the weekend. Jonathan Reiner, cardiologist, served as Dick Cheney's cardiologist in the White House, so blame this guy for keeping Dick Cheney alive. He said, why was the president again given a Montreal Cognitive Assessment dementia screening test? He's had 3 in the recent past. Reiner added, I'm glad the president did well on the cognitive exam, but it's a dementia screening tool, not an IQ test. So a score of 26 or higher represents normal cognitive performance, not extreme intelligence. None of the questions are high difficulty. And of course, Trump lies about everything, so there's no reason to believe he's not lying about how many he got right or wrong, assuming he even knows how many he got right or wrong. Dr. Vin Gupta said, this is a screening tool at a very high level for early signs of cognitive decline or dementia. It is not something that assesses the ability to do the world's hardest job under pressure, executive functioning. It is not that tool. It's not a neuropsychiatric test. I don't think a lot of people find it to be terribly difficult, as he describes it. So I do love that all the doctors are out there pointing out, like, by the way, it ain't difficult. If your brain is totally normal, It's like a kindergarten test or a preschool test, really. Like, which one's the giraffe? But 3 times in a year, we had already been told by medical professionals, by mental health professionals, after Trump's second one last fall. We were told by these people then that this is not a test that you get done every single time you go to the doctor. If they basically give it to you more than 2 times, which at that point it was his third, they're not monitoring if, they're monitoring progression. 3 in 1 year, in one 12-month span, or maybe 13-month, I think, they're monitoring progression. They are no longer determining if Donald Trump has cognitive decline or potentially dementia. They're tracking how bad it's getting. That's what this is. And again, that is coming from the medical professionals, the doctors, the people who do this for a living. They're not out there trying to trash Trump. They're out there trying to warn the public. It's real. It's happening. It's obviously been diagnosed. And this White House is engaged in the biggest medical cover-up for a president of the United States in American history. And we've had quite a few. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.